Listen to me closely. What if the very effort you are making to bring money into your life is the exact wall keeping it out? We are taught to chase. We are taught to hunt. We are taught that abundance is a prize we must wrestle from the grip of a stingy universe. But look at the flowers in the field. Look at the lilies. They do not spin. They do not toil. They simply trust. Meanwhile, we stay up at 3 in the morning checking our banking apps with a knot of anxiety in our chests. And yet, King Solomon, in all his glory, was not arrayed like one of these. There is a secret rhythm to abundance. It is not a chase. It is a reception. Florence Scovel Shinn, the great metaphysical teacher of the 20th century, knew this. She taught thousands of people how to turn poverty into plenty, not by working harder, but by thinking truer. But in between the lines of her famous books, in the spaces between her affirmations, there lies a method, a structure, a way of living that she hinted at over and over again. Let's call it the 3-day money magnet ritual. You might ask, why 3 days? Because 3 is the number of spiritual completion. It is the number of the Trinity. It represents the mind, the body, and the spirit working in unison. It is the time it takes to move a truth from a thought into a realization. It is not magic in the way the world thinks of magic. It is spiritual law in motion. It is the deliberate act of realigning your frequency from need to have. If you stay with me until the very end, I promise you this. You will not just have a set of words to say. You will have a concrete 3-day blueprint to completely reset your financial vibration. You will hold the keys to unlocking the storehouse that has always been waiting for you. You are here because you are ready to stop begging and start receiving. Let us begin. To understand this ritual, we must first anchor ourselves in the truth of the law. Florence Scovel Shinn taught us one fundamental principle that changes everything. God is your supply. Now, do not let that word God trip you up if you carry religious wounds. Call it infinite intelligence. Call it the universe. Call it the Great Spirit. It does not matter what you name the source. What matters is that you understand the source is not your job. The source is not your clients. The source is not the government, your partner, or the economy. Those are channels. When you look at the channel and think it is the source, you operate in fear. You think, if this job goes away, I starve. If this client leaves, I am ruined. That is the reasoning mind trying to limit the infinite. Florence said that man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. This is the law of belief. Most people I speak to believe in their heads that abundance is possible, but in their bodies, they are braced for impact. They are braced for the bill. They are braced for the insufficient funds notification. This 3-day ritual is designed to break that brace. It is designed to move the knowledge from your head into your nervous system. We are going to use 3 specific spiritual laws over 3 days. Day 1 is the law of forgiveness and release. Day 2 is the law of preparation. And day 3 is the law of non-resistance. This is how we magnetize. We do not pull money toward us with force. We clear the channel so that the river, which is already flowing, can finally reach our door. I know the voice that lives in your head. I know it well. It is the one that whispers when you are standing in the grocery line, doing mental math before you reach the cashier, praying the card goes through. It is the one who says you cannot afford that coffee. You shouldn't buy those flowers. Who do you think you are, trying to live like a wealthy person? It is the one who looks at a bill and feels a physical punch in the gut, a tightening of the throat, a shallowness of breath. Maybe you are the one who hoards. You save every penny, terrified to let it go. You wear shoes with worn-out soles because you are being responsible, while your bank account sits stagnant. You are telling the universe that you only deserve the bare minimum. And so, the universe says, as you wish. Or maybe you are the one who spins frantically, hoping that if you buy enough things, you will feel worthy, only to crash into shame the moment the statement arrives. Florence Scovel Shinn tells the story of a woman who was afraid to spend money on a fur coat she needed. She had the money, but she felt it was wrong to spend it. She denied herself. And what happened? The money was taken from her in a less pleasant way. Through an unexpected expense, a repair, a loss. Florence said hoarding is a violation of spiritual law. Money is energy. It must circulate. If you dam up the river, the water becomes stagnant and muddy. If you let it flow, fresh water rushes in. This ritual is about clearing the mud. It is about telling that voice of scarcity, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe now. I'm supported by a power that never fails." You are not broken for feeling this fear. You have simply been hypnotized by the world's belief in lack. The world tells you there is a pie, and if someone else takes a slice, there's less for you. Spirit tells you that you are the baker, and the ingredients are infinite. Let us walk into the kitchen. Day one is not about asking for money. If you ask from a cluttered, fearful space, you only create more clutter and fear. Day one is about sanctification. The law of vacuum states that nature abhors a vacuum. You cannot pour fresh wine into old wineskins. If your life is filled with the debris of poverty consciousness, there is no room for wealth to sit down. Your first practice for day one is the wallet cleanse. I want you to take your wallet, empty it completely. Dump it out on the table. Look at the receipts crumpled in the bottom. Those are old energy. They are records of money spent, often with a feeling of it being gone. Throw them away. Look at the expired cards, the gum wrappers, the dust. Clean it. Wipe the leather. Polish the clasp. As you do this, I want you to speak these words. I am clearing the way for my divine abundance. I prepare a clean and holy house for my money. Arrange your bills. Do not crumple them. Respect them. If you treat your money like trash, it will treat you like a stranger. If you treat it like an honored guest, it will want to stay. Your second practice for day one is the blessing of the debt. This is the hardest part, but the most powerful. Find one bill you need to pay. It can be small, a phone bill, a utility bill. Usually you pay this with resentment. You think, I hate losing this money. Today we flip the script. You are going to pay it, or set it aside to be paid, and you are going to bless the transaction. You will say, I bless this money as it goes out. I bless the company that provided me with this service. I have the power to pay, and I am grateful. Go, and return to me 1,000-fold. Under grace, in a perfect way. Feel the shift. You are no longer a victim losing resources. You are a sovereign distributing wealth. You are the source of the payment. Your third practice for day one is the forgiveness letter. Money blocks are almost always people blocks. Resentment cuts the wire that connects you to your supply. Florence was adamant about this. You cannot have a burdened heart and a full bank account. They do not vibrate at the same frequency. Write a name on a piece of paper, the name of someone who you feel owes you. It could be an ex-partner, a boss who underpaid you, a parent who didn't support you, or perhaps it is yourself. Write down what they did. Feel the anger for a moment. Then say aloud, I forgive you. I release you. You do not owe me. God owes me because supply is law, not favor, and God pays in full. Burn the paper. Watch the smoke rise. Or if you cannot use fire, tear the paper into pieces so small they can never be put back together. That smoke, or those pieces, represent the blockage leaving your field. You will end day one with this affirmation. I have now smashed every idol of fear in my mind. I stand on the rock of truth. My supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate. Welcome to day two. Yesterday we cleared the space. Today we must prove we believe the guest is coming. In the Bible, There is a story Florence loved to quote from 2 Kings. The 3 kings were in the desert with their armies, dying of thirst. There was no rain, no clouds. The prophet Elisha told them, "Thus saith the Lord, make this valley full of ditches." They had to dig ditches before the rain came. They had to prepare the ground for the water they could not yet see. If they hadn't dug the ditches, when the water came, it would have rushed over the hard ground and then lost. The ditches held the blessing. Most people wait for the money to arrive before they prepare for it. They say, when I have the money, I will look for the house. When I have the raise, I will upgrade my wardrobe. The law says you must act as if you already have it. Your first practice for day 2 is the symbolic purchase. You must do something today that frightens your scarcity mind just a little bit. I am not telling you to spend rent money on a luxury item. That is foolishness, not faith. I am telling you to buy something that belongs to the version of you who is already wealthy. Maybe it is a high-quality pen because the successful person signs contracts. Maybe it is a specific ingredient for a meal, like the good olive oil or the real vanilla. As you buy it, do not look at the price tag with fear. Look at it with knowing. Say to yourself, this is my natural state. I am accustomed to quality. You are training your subconscious that this is safe. Your second practice for day 2 is physical preparation. Look at your home. If $1 million dropped into your lap today, would it fit? Or is your home chaotic? Clean your windows. Florence often spoke of cleaning up to speed up a demonstration. Create a space for your new reality. If you want a new car, clear out the garage. If you want a new business, clear off a desk and put a notebook there, open and ready for orders. This is digging the ditch. You are shouting to the universe, I am ready. Fill this space. Your third practice for day 2 is the vibration of gratitude. Find 10 things you already have that represent abundance. Running water? That is abundance. Kings of old did not have hot water on command. Internet connection? Infinite knowledge at your fingertips. A warm coat? Protection. Touch these things. Thank them. The more you appreciate what you have, the more the universe trusts you with more. A complaining spirit repels. A grateful spirit attracts. End day 2 with this affirmation. I am now digging my ditches. My faith is evidence of things not seen. I make room for my good. I am wide open to the floodgates of gold. Day 3 is the most subtle, yet it is where the magic happens. Day 1 was action, the clearing. Day 2 was action, the preparation. Day 3 is non-resistance. Florence Scovel Shinn's most famous teaching is the law of non-resistance. Resist not evil. In terms of money, this means stop worrying. I know, you want to scream at me. How can I stop worrying when the rent is due? But listen, worry is a prayer for what you do not want. Worry is you telling God, I don't trust you. Worry creates a wall of tension that bounces the good right off of you. You have cleared. You have dug the ditches. Now, you must stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. You must take your hands off the steering wheel. Your first practice for day 3 is the cast the burden breath. Throughout this day, every time a thought of money stress comes up, and it will, you are going to catch it instantly. Do not fight it. Do not argue with it. Simply say, I cast this burden on the Christ within, and I go free to have plenty. Imagine the worry is a heavy backpack. Visualize yourself taking it off and handing it to a giant, luminous hand. Feel the lightness in your shoulders. If the thought comes back 10 times, cast the burden 10 times. I am not doing this. Spirit is doing this through me. Your second practice for day 3 is to follow the intuitive nudges. When you are in a state of worry, you are deaf to guidance. When you are in a state of non-resistance, you become a radio receiver. On day 3, pay attention to the hunches. Florence called them leads. Suddenly, you might feel like calling an old friend. Do it. You might feel an urge to walk down a different street. Do it. You might feel a desire to share a specific post online. Do it. These are not random thoughts. These are the crumbs leading you to the loaf. The solution to your financial need is already here, but it is waiting for you to listen to the instructions on how to find it. Your third practice for day 3 is the celebration of others. This is the master key. Go onto social media or look at your friends. Find someone who is winning. Find someone who just bought the house you want. Find someone who just had the $10,000 month you desire. Watch your reaction. Is it jealousy? Is it, must be nice? Catch that. That is poison. Replace it with fierce, genuine celebration. Say, God is wonderful in them. That abundance is the same abundance that is flowing to me. If they can have it, it means it is possible for me. I bless them, and I bless my own harvest. What you bless in another, you confirm in yourself. End day 3 with this affirmation. I am now standing still. I am not anxious. I am not striving. I am open. The tide has turned, and my ship comes in over a calm sea. It is done. Now, I must tell you the truth about what happens next. Sometimes, after you do this ritual, the outside world changes instantly. Checks arrive in the mail. Refunds appear. Clients call. But sometimes, the silence gets louder. Sometimes, things seem to break. Florence called this chemicalization. It is like when you pour peroxide on a wound. It bubbles and fizzes. It looks like a mess, but it is actually the process of healing. If you finish these 3 days and your bank account looks the same, or if a new bill arrives, do not despair. Do not say it didn't work. That is digging up the seed to see if it has roots. Instead say, aha, the dust is settling. The old creates a disturbance as it leaves. I hold my ground. Consistency is the currency of the spirit. You cannot do this ritual once, then go back to complaining for a month and expect a miracle. You are building a new state of consciousness. You are rewiring your brain. You are retraining your soul. Imagine you are tuning a radio. For a long time, there is static. That static is the chemicalization. But if you keep your hand steady on the dial, suddenly, clear sound. Music. The voice of God. Do not be moved by appearances. Your bank balance is a lagging indicator. It tells you what you were thinking last month. Your new thoughts, your new vibration, are creating next month's balance right now. You are not a beggar in this universe. You are the child of the King, the child of the infinite. Do you understand what that means? It means the resources of the universe are your birthright. You do not have to earn them through suffering. You do not have to bargain for them with burnout. You only have to accept them. This 3-day ritual is your acceptance letter. It is your signature on the contract of abundance. Day 1, clear the channel. Day 2, dig the ditch. Day 3, stand still and receive. The question is not whether the law works. The law always works. It works as surely as gravity. The question is, will you work the law? Will you dare to believe that you are supported? I want you to make a declaration today. Not a hope, a declaration. Go down to the comments right now. I want you to write this, and I want you to feel it as you type every letter. I am the open door which no man can shut. My abundance is here. Claim it. Let the others in the comments be your witnesses. Let this community be the field where you plant your flag. You are ready. The money is ready. The struggle is over. Walk in grace. Walk in power. And watch the windows of heaven open.